Let's check in for our 30-minute live today with me, Ify, your go-to immigration lawyer in Charlotte and nationwide. I can help you file your merit-based green card application or provide support if you already filed and you're facing any challenges in your case. I can help you with that situation. So come on in. I already have a bunch of questions coming in on TikTok as usual. So I'm answering questions about the I-130. Somebody asked, can the beneficiary sponsor herself for I-485 if the petitioner is not making the required income? Great question, AI revolutionist. Thank you for being here and watching the live. Make sure you share with your friends, guys, so they can take advantage of this time to talk with a licensed professional to understand what your options are with this process. So for the green card process, family green card process, the petitioner has to be earning a certain income, right, to support the application. The income requirement is going to be based on your family size. So if the petitioner is not earning enough income that's required, then you'll need a joint sponsor or sometimes a household member. In this case, if the beneficiary is working legally, right, you can add your income to the petitioner's income, but you can't sponsor yourself, meaning you can't eliminate the I-864 that's required for the U.S. citizen petitioner. You have to include that as well, and you'll be a joint sponsor or a household member, depending on the setup of your taxes and your household. Does that make sense? So you can support the application with your income if you're the beneficiary, but you can't sponsor yourself, except you're doing a self-petition based on abuse. That's a whole different conversation, all right? But this is about the income, all right? You're welcome, AI revolutionist or evolutionist. Hi, guys on YouTube and Facebook. We're here for 30 minutes. I'm Ify, your go-to immigration lawyer. I'm here for 30 minutes to answer your questions about your green card. If you're currently in the USA, you're looking to live here permanently, to work, if you're facing any abuse from a U.S. citizen relative, an employer, or just basically going through it, you're in the USA, you're an immigrant, you don't know how to get your legal status, please reach out to me. I'm going to pin my number in the comments for those of you on TikTok and Instagram. And if you're on YouTube and Facebook, I'll leave it in the comments. So if you're watching this after the live has aired, just know that you can still reach out to me. I'm your go-to immigration lawyer nationwide. Just answer the question from AI that was talking about self-sponsorship. This is not a valid self-petition, just asking about the income requirement for sponsoring a green card. All right. You all know that's a big factor. Cases do get denied for that. In fact, that's something I'm going to discuss today. This is a current trend I've been seeing in the USCIS. It's happened to about 3 clients that I know of. Well, one in my firm and then other 2 clients who have reached out to me on Instagram, actually. So hope you all are watching this. I'm going to talk about this trend. This is the erroneous denial of green card cases. So you might want to listen in. Let's see how we can get to the bottom of this. If your case has been denied, that's not the end of the road, okay? A denied case can always be revived, but it's just very common these days for the slightest thing, they just deny you. Be like, oh. I'm like, what happens to RFE? You know, what happens to all these other steps, all right? Thank you, Mature Money. Thank you. Today, I decided to just cover up because it's raining so hard here. Let me know in the comments what the weather is like where you're at, because it's raining cats and dogs. I don't know what that expression is about, but it's raining like hard. So yeah, but anyways, another question. I can't say your name, it's in a different language on TikTok, but thank you very much for being here. I saw your question earlier. I hope that helped. But this one says, can I get in contact with USCIS? Can the process be expedited? Great question. Thank you very much for participating. This is definitely a frequently asked question because everyone wants their case to be processed like ASAP. right? So you can move on with your life because immigration stuff just takes forever. So, in short, any case can be expedited so long as you meet the requirements for expediting cases, right? The expedition process usually has to be based on financial hardship. So we can expedite a lot of work permits because, duh, right? You need to have your work permit to be able to work, earn money, pay your bills, that type of stuff, right? You can expedite based on medical reasons or humanitarian reasons. For those people who are outside the USA, if you're processing a green card, we've had several calls like that, and your spouse is just trapped in a war zone or something really bad is going on, you can potentially expedite for those types of reasons. All right. So yes, you can contact USCIS. They have a phone number. You can give them a call on your own. We do help clients do USCIS calls if it's necessary. For the most part, you have to understand that the people that you're talking to on the other end are really just customer service reps. They're not the people that have your case in front of them. All right. So the customer service rep can tell you whatever. You can look on the website or tell you whatever. By the end of the day, if you really want to get results, if you really want things to move, you might have to do a Congress inquiry. You might have to do even sometimes a lawsuit. And this is only after the processing time has passed. All right. So that's your answer to that. Thank you very much. And it is sunny today in Houston. Wow, so different from here. It is cloudy. I have all my lighting on, trying to make sure the live you all can see me, but it is cloudy here. It's been raining all morning. I've been up pretty early today, and it was raining the whole time. So enjoy the sun. It was sunny this weekend, though. We had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. Went to the pool. It was sunny. It was cool. And it's, you think like we're in May, the middle of May, right? We should be entering the summer, but it is what it is here. All right. But anyways, thank you all for being here and asking your questions and participating. My number is pinned in the comments. You can reach out to me, give me a call to talk about your immigration questions, any concerns you have. I actually received an email that I was reading right before this live. I was going to talk about it a little bit as well from one of you all that watches me. I really appreciate when you all reach out to me. Sometimes it might take a while to get in touch, especially if you DM me, but we do get in touch. Sometimes I go through my DMs and see all of you in there. But thank you very much for reaching out and for supporting this page and this practice and everything that we do. Hello on YouTube. Thank you very much. All right, so let me keep on reading these questions and answering them as we go along. We're just here for 30 minutes today, guys. Again, I'm Ify, USA immigration lawyer. I'm licensed to practice all over the USA. I can help you with any immigration matters, especially family-based immigration matters. So if you have any question relating to that, please reach out. All right. Okay, so this one says from Miss Wilco says, if USCIS has made an error on processing your marriage status, can you get in contact to inquire? All right. Yes. Miss Wilco, thank you for that question. I just mentioned earlier some false denials we've been getting based on just no situation. Although, in fact, the very first time this happened, one lady came to me after her I-45 was denied for not having an I-130 filed. I was like, I don't understand. She's married to a U.S. citizen. I asked her, I made sure we did a Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, for those of you who don't know what that means. Freedom of Information Act is when you ask the government to give you everything that they have on you. And so we did that, and we were able to see the receipt notice for the I-130 and see like an I-130 actually was filed. So this denial was erroneous. It was their fault. So you can definitely reach out to inquire. The best thing we just advise you to do is to file a motion to reopen because it has a time limit on it. File a motion to reopen and give them evidence as to why they need to reconsider that decision because it wasn't right. Okay. So it's unfortunate for this family. We had to reopen the I-130 because that one was randomly denied somewhere, and reopen the I-485, and then they had to pay for it. So it's the part where you have to pay these form fees. That's what really just grinds my gears, okay? Because we help you at our firm. We do have service fees as well, but we have payment plans and ways to help you make the service accessible. But when it comes to the government fees, they don't have payment plans. You're just going to chuck up that $3,000 and give it to them. immediately. So that's one of the things that just is annoying about the whole thing. But really, if you have a denial, that's not the end of the road. Okay, Ms. Wilco, just go ahead and reopen the case. Tell them why they made a mistake and they need to open it ASAP. And they be opening it. Okay. Actually, I'm going to share one of those reopened letters I just got recently. And this is for that same couple I'm talking about because their own was just wild. She came to me after they tried to file on their own because they had like financial difficulties. And, I'm glad they came to us at the end because now it's reopened. She's going to get her green card. Like the marriage is legit. They have like 3 children. So, you know. Anyways, thank you very much, Ms. Wilco. Beautiful, beautiful says I-130 and I-45 to interview was scheduled. Okay, you filed together. Okay. Interview was scheduled. Is US in USCIS. Is it normal? What's the meaning? Oh, beautiful. It is totally normal. That's really a good sign. That's the last stage of your marriage green card process, your family green card process. You get called for an interview so they can basically look at you together as a couple, know whether this marriage is real and if you actually are admissible, and then you get your green card. So it is totally normal, is expected. Sometimes they waive the interviews, but it's not, sometimes they call you. Okay. All right. Deepu says, my husband applied for I-130. This is on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here. Who's that? Is that one of my cats? Gigi. That's Gigi over there. If I probably does on Instagram, you can see Gigi. But Deepa says, my husband applied for I-130 visa for spousal visa. It's been 2 years tomorrow. He applied in 2022 of May, but nothing has happened. That freaking sucks, Deepu, and I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you very much for sharing with us, but I-130 should not be pending for 2 years, guys. I'm sorry. Like I-130 alone, pending for 2 years, that's just way too much. Because if we're talking both steps, right? Because there's a step 1 and a step 2. If your spouse is outside the USA, you have to do the I-130 first, get that approved, and then go to the country. Some countries take forever. Some countries are quicker. That type of stuff. But for the I-130 for itself to be waiting for 2 years, there might be something wrong there. Did you get a request for evidence? Have you contacted USCIS or your husband? Has your husband contacted? Or are you sure he filed it? Because that's another trend I've seen, guys. And all these things I'm telling you all is from my DMs. Like, I hear from you all. And these experiences is just heartbreaking sometimes, because the other trend is some U.S. citizen husbands leaving their U.S. citizen spouse and children abroad, making it completely impossible for them to come to the U.S. and basically being abusive. And that's just unfortunate. But please let me know. Have you seen the receipt notice? Are you sure that this was filed? Or he's just telling you a cock and bull story. That's another animal reference. I don't know where we got that from. Okay. Oh, I see. Deepu says when he applied, he was a green card holder. Now he's a U.S. citizen. I see. So your category from F2A to U.S. citizen immediate relative, you probably have not switched that yet. Did you switch? I see. If he just got his citizenship, you have to switch to immediate relative so you can get that faster timeline. Because 2 years, I believe the F2A category became backlogged, so that would make sense. All right. So, but U.S. citizen spouse, it doesn't take 2 years for I-130. Or you have priority. You're welcome, beautiful. Is that your actual name? That's such a cool name. So when a guy wants to text you in the morning, hey, beautiful, they'll be like, hey, beautiful, beautiful. That's so cool. Anyway, I see this one says, what if your I-131 case is closed? And for those of you who are asking at the top, I still see you. I'm going to try my best to answer, but I just answered the ones I see just coming to me right now. This says, what if an I-130 case is closed? I mean, it probably means it was denied because for whatever reason. Sometimes if you it depends on what your status was. They probably deny your I-131 if you have removal proceedings or something like that. All right. Thanks for the follow on Instagram. If you just see me for the first time, I'm Ify. I'm a USA immigration lawyer. Make sure you follow me for weekly live updates like this. We're going to answer questions, give you all some tips about filing your green card application. All right. You're welcome, Deepu. Okay. So let me see another one that I may have missed on TikTok. And give me a thumbs up, guys, if you're still here, if you're getting answers to your questions. I appreciate the comments from you all. Once I've answered your question, just let me know so that we can either add more or just know we're on the right track. Okay. All right. This one says, I'm a green card holder married to a U.S. citizen, but he keeps saying the green card is his. Help. What? Green card is his? I don't understand. Did you get this green card through the marriage to this U.S. citizen? If you did, I don't know how to say your name. Just a bunch of numbers. Finey. I think that's what it says at the end. If you got your green card through marriage and your U.S. citizen spouse is still threatening you even after you have your green card, if you don't need to remove conditions, you can just go ahead and file a divorce. Like right now, you're just a normal person living with another normal person, and marriages don't always work out. Now, during your U.S. citizenship, they might ask questions about the marriage, but still, you're not tied to anybody. The green card, how can the green card be his? Like, please be real. BFFR, tell him I said so. Okay, many U.S. citizens, and well, let me not say U.S. citizens, just abusive U.S. citizens always come up with all these random things about immigration to threaten non-citizens, but in reality, they don't even know. They're just making shit up. They don't know anything. They just know that you also don't know. And so they try to threaten you with, just some type of superiority. I'm a US citizen. ICE is going to take you. Like, no, ICE is not doing shit. See how long it takes for them to give us our green cards. You think they're just coming around and deporting people from your house because you said BFFR. Okay. All right. Someone else says, I'm a green card holder. I petitioned for my wife. I-130 got approved in January. How long does I-45 take? All right, green card holders, F2A category, that is still backlogged. I really haven't checked the May visa bulletin. I probably should today, but it is backlogged. I'm pretty sure it is, because if it wasn't, I think I would have known that as well. Because there's always updates on USCIS websites on when to file things. So with the I-485, if you already filed it before, you said it was approved in January, I-130. I'm not even sure why you didn't file concurrently, because if your spouse is in the USA and they're still in status, maybe like in a student visa status or J1 visa status, just another status, you could potentially file concurrently. Right? But right now, it might just depend on the backlog and what's going on there. All right. I hope that kind of helps. Some of these answers are not straightforward. Obviously, this is not a consultation. This is us trying to make sense of all the immigration complications that come up when you're trying to get your green card. And if you need professional help, I'm here to help. All right. I'd love to talk to you all one-on-one. So give me a call. Let's chat. All right, someone says, I filed since May. It's a year now. USCIS request for evidence 7 months ago. Still waiting. Okay, marriage-based green card can take anywhere from a year to a year and a half. It's getting shorter, though. This is 2024. It is getting shorter because they've increased the fees. They've implemented different changes in the USCIS. They do some things electronic now. If you file stuff electronically, you get your receipt notice like same day, immediately. So maybe that might help with cases moving faster. But for right now, if it's been a year, you send the RFE, as long as they've received it should be fine. We've really had those issues with things just not being received or sent properly, and then you get erroneous denials. That's just the worst thing ever. And I've had this conversation with other attorneys too. I've seen this as a trend. Not sure if it's just something for, I don't even know what it is. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but like, goddamn, it's not fair. But sometimes it happens. We help people reopen. We've had it happen to our clients too. So I'm not even, acting like our clients have never ever gotten denied. But our approval rates is up there, okay? Because we know what they're expecting, we know what's going on. But the erroneous stuff, the stuff that's out of our control, just happens. And you have to be equipped to deal with it. Okay, I had one of my clients, um, I-130 get denied because they didn't receive something in the RFE. I was like, come the F on. We've been doing this for years. So how would you not receive the RFE? But, that happens. They misplace the paperwork and then tell you didn't send it or do another RFE for that. Pisses me off. But, obviously clients are disappointed or people are sad about USCIS denials because you have to start over and deal with all the paperwork. But honestly, fighting it with the right resource is really your best bet. Okay, somebody else asked here about, can I contact them if I got denied? Of course, you paid for this stuff. It is something that you actually qualify for. You should go for it. Don't don't just give up just because you got denied that one time. Okay, so I hope that helps you all have some hope and know that there's a solution everywhere at every time. All right. Mohammed, thank you for your question. I came to the USA through the border. Can I marry a US citizen? Typical question. You're in the USA now. So entry without a visa is definitely a violation. It is something that will come up for you in terms of admissibility, right? Because you're not going to get a green card by violating the immigration rules. So if you enter without a visa, you can marry whoever you want, marry a US citizen, that's fine. You can file an I-130, that's fine, but you may not be able to adjust your status. There are different ways to get waivers for any inadmissibilities, any issues that you faced, but it really will come up. It's something to just keep in mind. All right. So is it advisable to file online or paper is better? So for me, I always file with paper. I somehow just trust that I can print out everything. I'll see it. I'll touch it, feel it. I write the check. I do everything, and it's fine. But maybe that's just the old school way. I've been practicing for 5+ years now. Wild. And I've been licensed for 7 years. That's also wild. But anyways, I've been doing this by paper for a while and it always works fast enough. Mail is going to be a little bit slower. Online, not everything can be filed online for one thing. And so because of that, since everything can be filed online, I just go ahead and use paper for everything else. But if you are filing on your own or if you're able to file online, now we file online here for I-130s and stuff for several reasons. It's quicker and then it's cheaper. So they're trying to get people to do more online stuff to reduce their own paperwork. Imagine in my office, we only have a couple hundred clients. There's so much paperwork. Imagine what's going on in their USCIS office, all the kind of paperwork that's there. Is brazy. So I think they want to reduce all that right now by doing more online filing. So I don't really know if I'll say which one is better, but I think it's just more convenient online. You get your receipt notice quicker, like same day. So that's an advantage. But on the other hand, what if it's a case that can be filed online? Like I-45 can file online. Only I-130s, N-400s, I-90s, those type of cases. All right. But anyways, this has been a refreshing live. I've been able to answer a lot of questions. We're here for 30 minutes. We have a few more minutes here that I'll answer your questions. I think after that, I'm getting a consultation booked. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably be having that consultation after the live. Oh. Oh, thank you. Someone says, love the hair. Thanks. Every time I just have braids, it's just like, it's always given. And then today I came with the agbada to show you all my heritage. For those of you that don't know, I am originally from Nigeria. So that's where I got my first understanding of immigration, because a lot of people just living in the US or just walking around don't really know anything about immigration until you have to go through it, because if it doesn't consign you, what's your business? It's just too much, right? But I had to go through it and I learned about all this stuff, and that's how I ended up becoming an attorney. So here we are. All right. Okay, one sec. Let me leave this message. Um, okay, I'm getting another booking. Okay. All right. Thank you for those of you who are calling. My number, okay, let me pin it. I don't think I've pinned this as I said I will. Yeah. You're welcome. Someone says, I'm living in New York. I want marriage to find green card. You want marriage? You all know you're not supposed to be marrying just because of a green card, right? For so many reasons, like, dang. Not only is it criminal, for your own sanity, like how can you deal with somebody and live with somebody that you don't even really like? You're just there just so you can get these papers. Like, is it that serious? You give up years of your life, of your essence. Come on now. So but if you're married for real, it is challenging. It take time and everything, but it's worth it because you're actually building a family. Not the one where you're just um okay. Not the one where you're just basically wasting away and hoping that okay, after the 2 3 years, once I get my citizenship, then I'll now divorce and then go and marry my actual wife from Nigeria. Makes no sense. It's really a sign of not knowing your purpose in life. If you know your purpose, you're not going to give away your essence like that for nothing. A green card is important if you're living in the US and you want to work here and build a life here, but aside from that, the headache that comes with this is just not too much. I can't tell you the amount of consultations I've had with people just busting into tears. I mean, I'm talking about big, strong men busting into tears because they've given away a part of themselves that they just cannot take back. For what? Right? So you have to think about that before you marry somebody for a green card. All right? So there's my number. I pinned it on TikTok, here on Instagram. Let's see if I can do that for y'all. On Facebook and YouTube is already in the comments, so please reach out to us. Let's talk about your case, help you all get situated. And yeah, 919-925-2295. It's my phone number. I'm the marriage green card lawyer, but I actually do other things other than marriage-based green card, that just became my thing after years of just doing marriage-based. That's how I started. My very first client was a marriage-based case. It was so scary. I don't even know how I did this. Back then, things were really so different. I had to handwrite a lot of things. It was very manual. It still got approved. My very first approval, and I was like, it's a wrap. Let's do this. Call me the marriage green card lawyer. Don't play with me right now. And that's how it all started. So, Muyu, I did not see your question, so I'll answer you in a bit. But I've pinned my number. Did I pin it to the comments so you can have that? Just take a screenshot. Give me a call. Oops, that. Oh, Instagram. They have like little filter things. Pretty cool. Okay, Muyu, let's see what your question is. How many days or months does it take to get a work permit with VAWA? Great question. Very frequently asked, obvious reasons, right? VAWA self-petition, for those of you who don't know, is when you get your green card from filing without a U.S. citizen relative. Reason, your U.S. citizen relative was abusive, so you had to do what you got to do, right? So if you do that, you can file for your work permit and your travel permit as well. Same thing. It's essentially the same thing like a regular marriage-based green card application, but you're doing it on your own. It's a self-petition, all right? So for you to get your work permit, it will take a few months. It could take 6 months. It could take up to a year. It hasn't taken up to a year for any of my clients, but I think the longest time was 11 months for one of these clients, all right? She ended up getting there, but it took 11 months. So keep that in mind. Okay, Muyu? Any other thing you asked that I didn't answer? Mahi, what's your question? He says, I'm in removal 14 plus years. Removal proceedings, that's deportation, right? I-130 interview coming through marriage of 10 years. Concern of being detained? Well, being in removal proceedings is pretty much the next step if you're out of status, right? If you got denied or you entered without a visa, how did you enter into removal proceedings, Amit? So chances of being detained at the interview is slim if you didn't commit a crime or that you're not basically deportable right now. You're in proceedings, so there's a process. Okay, people don't get deported like for no reason. Okay, I mean, I don't know how to change this filter thing on Instagram, so y'all could just have that. Anyways, thank you for joining and being here. But yeah, basically, if you have your marriage is 10 years, I mean, I think you're going to be able to prove legit marriage. If it's removal proceedings as an issue, they will just send you to go basically cancel the removal, right? Because now you've qualified, your green card has been approved. Okay, so hope that helps or answer your question. Asylum, girl, you're not getting detained. Like, you even had asylum filed. Okay, make sure you go with an attorney, though. If you're concerned about that, you can definitely have an attorney present to make sure that your rights are not violated in any way. Okay, all right, you're welcome. Can your spouse revoke your 10-year green card? Hell no. Pisses me off. No, your spouse can't do anything. Only USCIS can revoke your green card if your marriage was fraud to begin with. So don't marry people for a green card. Don't play silly games, and you won't lose your green card. But your spouse cannot just cancel your green card. Okay? Please, what does it mean for an I-751 case to be administratively closed? The couples are separated. I'm not sure what that really means. I-751, that's your removal of conditions because you were less than 2 years married. Yeah. So did you apply for your N-400? Did you apply for U.S. citizenship? Not sure why they would just randomly close it. Did they send you something you didn't respond to? Like, what's going on? They didn't deny it, they closed it. So that's concerning. You might want to talk to the USCIS, talk to an attorney. Do you have an attorney? Okay. Well, let me see some other questions I may have missed during this live. I thank you all for making it very active today with all your questions. Thank you again. Michelle says, or Mickey, is that right? Hey, I'm a U.S. citizen. I filed I-130 for my wife since October. How long is it going to take? Since October till now, just been a few months, October, November, December, and then we've had 5 months. Can you guys believe we've had 5 months? Like, damn, already in 2024. So that's 8 months. So, Mickey, you still have some time to wait there for a marriage-based green card. It can take a while. But depending on where you are, you might just be lucky. I've had clients get it in 3 months, and, that was good. But it really wasn't anything that anybody could have predicted. It just happened. Okay, I think I've answered many of the questions. Actually, I'm scrolling up and I see the same ones that I answered. Let's see here. I-130 approved 2 weeks ago after the interview, but I-45 still pending. Any hints? Okay, this is pretty typical as well. And my time limit for my screen time limits on Instagram expired. Let me see. Okay. I think y'all can still see me now. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let me see, what was that question I was reading right now? Yeah, if your I-45 is still pending after the I-130 has been approved, really, that's not really a sign that it's going to get denied or anything bad. It just means they're taking their time to approve them one at a time. In my experience, I've seen them approve both at the same time at the interview. You just get approved, but it doesn't always, everything is different. Every situation is different. The office is different. The day is different. If it's raining outside like this and they just want to go home, they'll just be like, yeah, I will look at it later and tell you, just whatever. Right. But it's not really a bad sign. So my hint for you is just to be patient and wait and just check out your case online. After 120 days, then you can contact the USCIS because I believe after an interview, they need to give you a decision after 120 days. Okay. I hope that helps. I don't know if you're still here, but I hope that you got the answer to your question. Life quotes. Thank you very much. Yesenia, beautiful name. Thank you. Says, how long are the appointments in Juarez? I don't know how to say that other name. I think that's Espanol for Juarez City, I think. Anyways, appointments. This is for what? Asylum or what's going on there? It's hard to know these specific dates for appointments in specific places, countries. When it comes to consular process, I get those questions all the time. How long is it going to be in Ethiopia? I'm like, I wish I knew. We would get people's stuff out, quicker if we had all the deets, all the inside tea. But for the most part, we go with what's published, what's acceptable. We let it go for a certain amount of time. Don't let it go too long. Otherwise, your case might get lost. And they just forget. That's why somebody's getting an I-45 denial that it is here I-130. I'm like, make it make sense, okay? So I'm glad she came to us. We helped her reopen a case. Somebody just DM'd me today. I was telling you all in the beginning of this live about her case that also got denied for something similar because I saw the denial letter. I was like, okay, they just said they didn't receive the RFE notice or they didn't receive everything. And I was just like, okay, I've seen this before. It's like they're repeating the same thing in their denial. So don't get caught up in that. Don't get scared. Just contact us, contact a professional. All right. Professionals are not perfect. I'll just put that out there because I think many of you call me sometimes thinking that I'm literally God. I'm just a girl. Okay. I'm just a girl that's also an immigration lawyer that has the knowledge and the insights to help you all get the results that you want. But I'm literally not a magician. All right. But I appreciate you all again for being here in the live. We've been here for almost 40 minutes now. So I'm going to round off the live. I know for a fact that I did not answer a lot of the questions that were coming in, but please feel free to book a call with me. For those of you who followed me today, who shared this live with your friends, deeply appreciate you all. We're trying to grow out here on this internet, okay? Because y'all know I'm an influencer. So we need to get this message out there and also get our page out there so people can find us and know what we're about and potentially sign up with us, be part of our community, and we all grow. Okay? You're very welcome. I'm glad. Alasso. Thank you for watching. I haven't seen you in a long time. Blessed girl. Okay, I'll answer yours before we round up. That'll be the last question. Okay, wait. I see one interesting one. This is from Royce. Royce, I'm going to answer your question. But blessed girl, your question says, what does actively reveal means or actively reviewing? Means actively reviewing. It means they're looking at it right now. The forms are on someone's desk and they are looking through it. That's what it means. Okay. Roy says, we are withdrawing my pending I-130 and I-45, but still haven't heard back after sending for withdrawal. Royce, why are you withdrawing? That's interesting because it sounds like you're the beneficiary, not the U.S. citizen. So why are you all withdrawing right now? You already sent 4 withdrawal requests. Dang. They'll reply you, Sha. They do send replies for that. Okay, so I hope you get a response. But anyway, I think that's the end of the questions here. For those of you at the top that I may have missed, I'm sorry. Please Join me next time. I'm here Tuesdays, Thursdays, live from noon. It's usually like 11:30, but I think noon is when y'all go on your lunch break. So I'll be here on your lunch break to keep you company and answer some of your pressing questions. And that's it. Okay. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day, guys. See you on Thursday. See you in the stories. I'm always posting one thing or the other in my stories. So check that out as well. All right. Bye bye. Thanks. And thanks, Patricia, for joining. All right. Bye.